Today, we'll see SQL versus NoSQL. So let's have a look at the difference with respect to data structure. So when we talk about SQL, it has a relational table with rows. That means there are rows and columns present inside it. We store the data in the form of rows and columns, which we call it as table. When we talk about NoSQL data structure, it can be key value pairs, it can be document stores, or it can be graph databases. Now, when we consider the schema that it uses, when we talk about SQL, it has a rigid schema structure. Once finalized, it cannot be changed. It has a fixed schema structure. When we talk about NoSQL, it has a flexible schema. There is no predefined schema. We can have it dynamic. We can change it as and when we require some changes. When we talk about scaling as a characteristic, SQL is capable of vertical scaling. That means we can add rows into it. The size of the data will be increased vertically. As we know, the schema is predefined, the number of attributes will be predefined. So we cannot scale the number of attributes, but we can scale the number of records that are present inside this type of databases. When we talk about NoSQL, we can perform horizontal scaling in that by adding more servers. That means we can increase the performance, we can increase the computational power of it to store multiple attributes dynamically by adding more servers. When we talk about transaction as a characteristic in SQL, it is ACID compliant. That means it uses the ACID properties. ACID stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Whereas NoSQL may sacrifice these ACID properties for scalability. It may not pursue these all properties at once. Here, we compromise ACID properties for scalability. When we talk about use cases, SQL has complex queries as well as transactions that we performed may be complex in SQL. When we talk about NoSQL, it contains larger volumes of data that can rapidly change. It can be dynamic, it changes with time. Oh, I got an email. Let me attend that. Till then, you guys have a look at this. Welcome to the day 3 of Decoding SQL.